What's up, everyone? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video. Hope everybody's doing well, all that good stuff. Let's get into this. So, what I want to talk about right now is he who seeks affection shall be conquered by rejection. And I'm going to use this in a different light. I'm going to change this to an otaku who seeks affection shall be conquered by rejection. And, you know, the thing with this is like, you know, I really picked those words because we're going through these certain cycles, man, like to where it's really repetitive, you know, and you know, like I'll tell you how it's repetitive momentarily, but the thing with this is, you know, say, you know, you're always told in society, oh, put yourself out there, right? You hear all this garbage nonsense, man. Like, and they don't really tell you that, oh, it depends on who you are, your status, all this stuff. In a lot of cases, it depends on, you know, do you have any, like, faults, man? Because society seeks perfectionism, which is very far from, by the way. But the thing with this is, like, you know, this cycle is really impossible to break until you stop the cycle. You know, we obviously, like I said, we live in just a society and a world that's like just tells us, bro, like, oh, just go do this, do that, put yourself out there, just be yourself. That's another one, man. It's like, you know, that's not really good advice, because what happens when you do, right? What happens when you genuinely look for, like, warmth, loyalty, you know, just someone to kind of understand you and your world, right? Well, I'll tell you what happens, man. You get a cold shoulder, a closed door, rejection. Every time, bro. It's like, that's so draining. And it makes it worse too for us, like autistic individuals, right? Really makes it really hard for us. But, you know, one thing that I think really needs to change is how we just go about this. Because, and what I mean is just stop trying altogether, right? Because, you know, one thing I want to mention is, like, think about, like, these characters, and for, like, animes and gaming and whatnot, right? Like, characters, they've got core values. You know, there's a sense of ultimate loyalty. You know, if a character says they have your back, you know where you stand with them. They mean it. You know, there's beauty and safety in that, right? Well, but the thing is, the moment you step out of that sandbox zone, right? And, like, you know, you try to find, like, the same level of, like, dedication. Okay, this one. Like, you are met, honestly, with really, honestly, nothing but hostility. Like, you're not really going to get anywhere, so to say. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You're really just not going to get anywhere. And sure, if you want to try, you be my guest, but, like, another thing too is, like, when you try to find like the same level of dedication or affection, bro, reality will hit you hard, man. It will really hit you hard. You know, people, they will just change on a dime, bro. They, like, communities, most of them are incredibly toxic, right? Communication is obviously just broken now because of social media and other things that I've talked about before. You really start realizing like that, like the standards of loyalty you respect are just not being matched by the real world, right? So it's like, well, why would you try then, right? You may have that question. Well, why would I try then? Well, very good question. Um, because not only is rejection heavy, but not only that, but it conquers you, bro. Because you fought. You're tired, right? You're tired. You finally run out of armor, so to say, right? Like it's just. It's just like hailstones on a glass house situation, right? And that's probably one of the worst situations you really can be in, to not really have human connection, but need it. Obviously you need it. That's the way we are wired, right? And like this stuff here, not only this, but like, you put yourself out here time and time and time again, and you get the same results every freaking time, bro. Like I talked about a little bit about this before, like trying to find friends on Discord, right? Like I used to like try to find friends everywhere, bro. Like just like trying to find like a small group of people even. It's like, you can't even find that, man. Like, it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to put any toxic positivity within this video, right? So, another thing, too, is like, it creates this, like, very, like, isolating paradox, right? Like, the rejection pretty much will eventually stop being an external thing, and then it just becomes an internal voice. You'll just start thinking, well, why should I bother and try to reconnect or try to connect with someone when the outcome is already chosen, bro? When it's already decided, it's going to be rejection. I think these are very good questions, and that's the thing. You probably shouldn't try because, I'm not going to just say I'll be one of those types of people and just say, oh, just keep trying. It's eventually the right person's going to come along. I'm not going to say that. If you're wanting a YouTuber to tell you that, you better just go ahead and click off the video because I'm not going to tell you that. Because for a lot of us, and if you're watching this video, more than likely you agree with me. So, when you constantly want affection, it could be friendship-wise, family-wise, dating-wise, any of that. You will really start to see with every rejection you face that it's really just it's not written in destiny for you, right? Like it's not set in stone for you that you're going to find someone to chat with or be with or whatever, right? Like it's just it seems pretty hopeless, I won't lie. And I think honestly, really, to be honest with you, in a lot of cases, for a lot of people, it really is. I mean, I like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is not going to be a happy video by no means. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. But, like, another thing too is not only do you think, well, why even try? It's like, you're dealing with like this like intense loneliness, man. Like, because even when you try to like say you want to like try to like talk to somebody on social media or something, right? Let's just say that's what you attempt to try, since real like offline isn't working for you, right? Well, sure, you can try it, but I mean, you're really going to get the same results. Like, I mean, I'm not really going to have a motivational speech for this video because, you know, I'm in this boat. But the thing is about me, you know, I've changed the outcome, the situation because, you know, I mean, I'll get straight to the point. You know, this world is very, very toxic. And did I already do that one? Not only that, but like you really gotta like guard yourself, guard your mind, guard your peace, right? You know, because at the end of the day, that's really all you have. So I highly recommend everybody guarding their peace, right? So sorry. You know, another thing too, like if you're an autistic person like myself, you know, when you're trying to navigate through the world, this is already hard enough, right? Like, get out of here. It's like really hard. And the world can definitely be cruel to us. That's for certain. And like, here's the thing, like when you put, I'm gonna ask you this. When you put yourself out there, I want you to answer me this question. When you're constantly being rejected, what is the reward for doing this? Because I don't see a reward. There is no reward, but nothing but humiliation, rejection, and constant torment and sadness. That's the only really thing you're getting out of it, and that's not a reward, right? So it really just, you know, goes to show people are just so cold today. You know, and you try your absolute best to mask this too, by the way. And you know, eventually the mask slips, obviously. You can't do it because good luck convincing yourself and others that you don't need human connection. Good luck, because your human nature will see to it that it exposes you in real time, in reality, every single time. So, you know, say you join a community, you chat, right? Hey, the sun's setting good. You know, like, not only that, you'll like you're just met with silence, bro, when you join this stuff, you know, or just emojis, or you know, every time you like build up the courage to mask up and try again, the world just reinforces you do not belong, bro. Every time. You know, so eventually you just stop trying, like myself, and you know, you're just completely conquered by it. Because there's nothing else you can really do. And you know, the cycle that this goes with, you know, the cycle that you're currently going to be facing with this is 1, effort, 2, rejection, 3, self-isolation. So now the third one, self-isolation, is it's not willingly isolating. It's being isolated against your will. Okay? So you are forced to live in isolation. Not only this, but guess what? The cycle continues to repeat over and over and over. It doesn't stop. The only way that it stops is if you stop trying. That is the only way that it is going to stop. And even then, you're still going to be left with nothing but rejection, depression, torment every day because nobody wants to talk to you. Because you don't fit in with a lot of these people. And, you know, like, you know, I've spoken, you know, quite a bit about, like, hikikomoris, you know, and I talked about how I pretty much just became a hikikomori. And, you know, I prefer to be that way, but I would like people to talk to. I mean, I have one friend online, but as far as in person, I don't have anybody other than my wife, really. And that is not going to change. And more than likely, if you're watching this video, you know that it's not going to change for you either. So it's like, you know, when you're seeking this affection from whoever it is you're seeking it from, you will be mastered by rejection every time. Rejection will beat you to your knees every time. It'll make you depressed, it can make you cry, it'll make you anxious, so on and so forth, right? You know, and when you have autism, it's a total shutdown, bro. It's a total shutdown. You know, not only that, but like when you're putting yourself out there, that requires a massive amount of energy already. So, especially for like the autistic individual, and you know, an otaku too, because a real otaku, by the way, a real one, they are outcasts to society. You know, so it really honestly makes perfect sense why a person would rather pull back, turn on a game or sink into some anime where the characters are pretty much consistent. You know, you don't have to decode hidden rules to just feel welcome, man. So, I mean, why would I trade that, bro? Because, you know, there's no point. No, I mean, not only that, but, you know, obviously we do need, like, human connection, but, like, some people just can't get it and they're forced to live without it. And a lot of times these people don't really, you know, have good long lives, healthy lives, because their mental health is crap. They're, like, it's pretty bad. But, like, you know, it's just an endless cycle, you know. Every single attempt to build a bridge, like say you get the first wood plank, bam, 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 in the bridge, someone comes down and just hammers it down. They break it in half. So it's like, you know, it's just not going, eventually, you know, you're going to realize that these people, that all they do is ghost, they pull away, treat you like you're too much, you know. Or, you know, another thing too is like take a massive leap of faith, you know, to do that and show people your true passions, only for them to ghost, pull away, and treat you like you're too much, bro. Yeah, man, it's over at that point, man. Like it really, truly, honestly is, and. You know, it's like, you know, why do you think there's like so many introverts in the world? Bro, because these people don't know how to talk to nobody, because nobody talks to them. Not only that, but like, I'm talking about people who became introverts against their will, by the way. Um, and it's like, that is really sad too, man, but it's like, what else can you do? You gotta like try to fight to survive, right? So, yeah, I mean, rejection, it will definitely conquer you if you let it. And another thing too about rejection is it will make you feel worthless. It'll make you feel all these negative emotions. And the more you continue to put yourself out there and get rejected time and time again, the furthermore you're only furthering your downfall. You're only furthering your pain. That's all you're doing. You're only making it worse. So my advice to you, honestly, is do what I did. Stop adding people. Stop trying to talk to people. Get it into your head, okay, look, nobody wants to talk to me. I can't change that. Now, I know that this is a Christian, I am a Christian, and then this is kind of like a Christian-based channel. So this may seem a little kind of different coming from me, but like, it's just the truth, And if people can't understand that from you, then they don't understand you. Another thing too is like you're constantly met with ridicule, judgment, from literally everybody you freaking come across. And it's like, that is so tiring, man. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how tiring that is, man. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, man. But, anyway, one more thing I do want to say is, like, if you've done this in the past, right? You've tried, right, to find people to chat with. It's like try to keep your circle small, what you're trying to do. But yet you can't even get a small circle to do that. So what else do you do, man? You have to protect yourself, man, from like all the negative emotions you can. You got to protect yourself from like spiraling down this like mindset of like, oh, well, eventually someone will come along. And it's not literally just about trying to find a relationship. It's literally everything. Every single time, like that I tried, and more than likely people who are feeling this way have tried to make a friend. Every time, you try to join a conversation or just try to reach out to a community, basically, to share things you love, the outcome is exactly always the same. Always. No matter what you do, it's always the same. You get ignored. You get rejected. And you do all that work, you take the risk, and you get handed nothing but silence and judgment, bro. It gets to a point, basically, to where the math just does not add up, right? It really does. And, not only that, the energy it takes to seek affection is not worth the rejection you get back. So you just stop trying. Okay? You just stop trying. You stay behind a screen, or you do whatever it is you do, when the rules don't change. The repetition, this feeling that every single time ends in the same way. Look, all that, it goes away, bro, when you stop. The only thing that don't go away when you stop is the loneliness. That is it. Now, I don't guess there's anything we can do about that, though, now is there? But, you know, anyway, so, yeah, you know, you're going through all this pain and stuff, trying to obviously find like a friend and whatnot, man. And it just goes to show, man, that like no matter what you do, it's futile. It's meaningless. In this situation, because you know, it's like I always talk about, to get a friend, whatever, you got to have a high social media following, you got to have a certain amount of money, status, you got to look a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. You have to be perfected the way that society thinks perfection is, by the way, which is obviously not perfection, right? But anyway, like, yeah, man, it's pretty brutal, like, to have to deal with. But anyway, yeah, that's just really hard to come to terms with, man, that, you know, you just have to just stop trying. Because, I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? I mean, because if you're not getting any results, man, so say, you know, there's people who's done this, bro. I've done this my whole life, actually, you know, and I recently just stopped a few months ago. And, you know, sure, it takes away some of the stress, but I mean, it doesn't take the stress away that you're probably feeling lonely or whatever, but like, I mean, one thing I will say is you honestly you got to stop putting yourself in these situations to get rejected, right? The longer you continue to do this, the more you will notice that certain types of stress that you're dealing with will just simply vanish. Now, you will still obviously have a lot of problems, depression, mental health struggles, because you don't have anybody, right? But, like, you know, you got to try to keep fighting for yourself, obviously. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about this a little bit. But, like, it's really rough to deal with, man, because, like, I honestly wouldn't wish that on my worst freaking enemy, bro. Like, I really wouldn't. Because it's like, that's brutal stuff, man. Like, just being rejected your whole life. It's like, man, dude, like, you know, and there's actually even women who are in this situation too, by the way. It's actually not just men, believe it or not. You know, there are certain women that are in this exact situation. Now, I would say there's more men in this situation, obviously, but I would definitely say, you know, I have seen some women in this situation, and, you know, it's just as brutal, like, for them as it is for the man. But, like, anyway, as far as me goes, like, and us otakus, bro, we gotta just we gotta just stick to what we love, bro. Forget the rest of the noise, man. Forget the rest of the world. You know what? Actually, you know what? That's my motivation speech right there. I don't really have one, but just take that as one. But like, yeah, just focus on your hobbies, bro. Focus on, like, if you have like a relationship with God, focus on that. At least I hope you do. Because the thing is, I will tell you this. Now, that's one person right there, you know, that won't reject you. You come to the cross, bro, you won't be rejected. I'll tell you that. That is one thing you won't be. I'll tell you that right now. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, all you need is Jesus, or all you need. No, I'm not going to say that. Because that would honestly be a lie. Because, you know, he obviously wired you to need human beings, right? That's how you're wired. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you like the type of content that I create, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video. Just thought I would kind of ramble a little bit about this. I mean, I probably may go in depth a little bit more about this on another video. But like, I just kind of wanted to get this saying out, you know. But yeah, anyway, y'all take care. And you gotta really just hang in there. That's all I know to tell you, man. Y'all, like, that's all I know to tell all of the women and men watching this video. I don't know what else to say. But anyway, I'll see y'all next time. God bless and peace.